Hello there, so good to have you join us for CoreTV News at 7. I am Gift Ogete. The Police Service Commission has in the last 1 year approved the dismissal of 9 senior police officers. Commission Chairman Mike Okiro disclosed this at a briefing marking his 1 year in office. He revealed that 99 officers faced disciplinary action within the same period. Pandemonium at the
Also, the Commission considered and approved a total of 99 disciplinary cases with punishments ranging from dismissals to suspensions. There's also a table there giving you a breakdown of the 99 people who were disciplined. Equally, 2 of the dismissed senior police officers are to be prosecuted. 5 officers reduced in rank were subject to the firearms they lost, while 1 of the officers reduced in rank would also forfeit 37 days' pay. The Commission has received a total of 335 appeals through petitions bordering on police misconduct that are currently being processed.
There was pandemonium at the University of Jos in Plateau State on Thursday as lecturers and students fled the campus following the sighting of an alleged suicide bomber. CoreTV News guarded that the suspect was apprehended by the students as he tried to enter the premises. The alarm raised by the students sent everybody scampering for safety. However, some students summoned up courage to capture the alleged bomber, who was almost beaten to a pulp before he was rescued by the school security. We will bring you details as they unfold. Vice President Namadi Sambo this morning visited the scene of Wednesday's bomb attack in Abuja to see things for himself. After being briefed by the various heads of security operatives on ground, Sambo reiterates that the bombers would not go scot-free. The Vice President is now visiting survivors of the bomb attack at various hospitals in the city center. Many of the victims of the Abuja bomb attack are now receiving treatment at Maitama District Hospital, the closest health facility to the bomb scene. So it is not surprising that a crowd of people have been trooping into the hospital to see the survivors or to identify corpses of those who lost their lives. Friends and relatives of Bisala Sulaiman, the journalist who died in the bombing, were also on hand to see if they could collect his body for burial.
Maitama Hospital is located within shouting distance of the bomb scene. So, not surprising, it's one of the hospitals that the victims were rushed to. The facilities here are not exactly overstretched, but the medical team are on their toes. Many of the survivors on admission are people who were quite close to the scene. One of them is Donald, who actually saw what happened.
My name is Donald. So yesterday, I walk from Skybank opposite the plaza. So yesterday, I went to buy corn of myself to eat. So when I went there, I saw a houseman driving a Sienna. He was trying to enter to the way out of the plaza. So the security now stopped him, tell him to follow the right way. So the man was doing as if he drunk or something. So me, when I saw them, that was not my problem. So I left them. For seconds that I left them, I saw people shouting. Of me to turn back and see what was happening, I now found myself on the ground.
This man with a head injury still can't hear anything several hours after the explosion.
I can't hear very well.
You just say anything you can say.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hear very well.
And outside are people waiting for news on survivors. But for this group of journalists, It's a time to mourn.
That one of our best in the profession, especially in the FCT Council of NUJ, has been taken by criminals whose purpose of what they are doing is not known to any of us. But we are gathered here in honor of now late Bisala, our editor, our colleague, our comrade.
I was with Suleiman about 1 hour before he left the office, and went to that axis because it's somehow near our office. And when we heard the bomb, nobody could associate him with what happened until eventually things were unfolding. I've known Suleiman for about 6 years now. Has been a wonderful friend and colleague. He's a professional, committed, focused, and a very loyal person, and a very hardworking person.
Mr. Suleiman Bisala was a colleague of mine right from Daily Trust in 2001. We were pioneer staff of Daily Trust, and I worked there for 12 years with him. I discovered that he was a very hardworking, strict, and disciplined man, and we got along very well together because he was focused and a professional.
While CoreTV was still at the hospital, Vice President Namadi Sambo arrived, accompanied by top government functionaries. He assured survivors of government support and comforted friends and family of those who died in the bombing.
Aside from the cars that were burnt, the multiple explosion also damaged 2 shopping plazas in the area. The windows of surrounding buildings were also shattered by the bomb that left a 4-foot crater where it was detonated. But it also generated anger among Abuja residents. We, however, warn viewers that they may find some of the visuals distasteful. Governor-elect Ayo Fayose says the concession of incumbent Governor Kayode Fayemi to defeat was a propaganda stunt aimed at eliciting public sympathy. Admitted that although Fayemi at the weekend conceded publicly and congratulated him, the governor had not picked calls from him since then. Fayose accused Fayemi of promising to create employment before he leaves in order to cause problem for the incoming government. He recalled that his predecessor in 2003, Niyi Adebayo, also conceded defeat but went ahead to conduct a massive job recruitment exercise with only 6 months remaining in his tenure. Fayose appealed to APC not to play propaganda with sensitive issues and commended the incumbent governor for the bold step taken in conceding defeat, even though it was meant to induce public sympathy. Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola says the outcome of Ekiti governorship election is not consistent with human behavior. Governor Fashola expressed surprise that the people of Ekiti did not reciprocate developmental initiatives of Kayode Fayemi for free rice and distribution of money. He said the Ekiti election left so many questions begging for answers.
The way people have behaved 2 weeks ago, 1 week indeed ago, nobody who was a very self-respecting public commentator could comfortably stand up and say Governor Fayemi would lose this election. Nobody could say that. And nobody said that. Now, the worst that you could say was that it looked close. If it did, is this the way human beings have behaved? Is this the normal way to behave? Does a governor who everybody says did well lose even in his own ward? If he was such a bad governor, was his deputy also a bad deputy that she too lost? Was the Speaker of the House also bad? And I know that this may be difficult to convey, But I want Nigerians to listen to the message and not the messenger, because I have a partisan interest. But let us simply examine human behavior here. And perhaps people should remember that the governor-elect now, from his own party, was told to all of us by his own party that he had criminal issues to answer. They removed him. They took him to court. They haven't come back to come and tell us that he has been acquitted. And they bring him back to the same state. Is that consistent with human behavior, with this result? Do human beings behave like that? Memories may have faded, but do they all fade such that this same governor now defeats an incumbent who everybody says has done well in all local governments?
There was pandemonium on Wednesday at Majidun Ikorodu area in Lagos, where a church suspected to be a den for human ritual activities was vandalized and almost set on fire. Nifemi Oguntoye was there and brought back this report.
Trouble started in the early hours of the day when a female member of the church was allegedly caught with a 4-year-old child carried in a bag. She was said to have kidnapped the child in response to an earlier request made by the pastor. Angry youth in the area immediately descended on the church, vandalizing everything on sight and setting a pot on fire before the arrival of the police that condoned off the church premises. Eyewitnesses give account of what happened.
The church has been here for over 10 years now. We did not know the name. So now that man that they said the man is mad person, the man is not mad. We interviewed the man. The man said it's his wife that brought him here for over two years now, 11 years now. Now the chain that is in that man is over. If you investigate that chain, well, that chain has chopped, it has rotted the man's hand. The man's hand is bad.
My wife died last year, October 25th. So I told my wife she should not worship from this church. This church is not church. He will come and bring water. He will come and bring oil. He will come and bring. I will throw away everything. At last, on 19th of October, my wife began to shout, Pastor Noise, he kill me. Pastor Noise, this is how you do me. For long, we hear that this man, they say art. They say we might be art for this place. Now today, God don't look in secret. So this church to come up for here.
An extension of the church where mentally ill persons are allegedly kept for healing was not spared by the angry mob, who says the people kept there are not sick as claimed, but kidnapped and used for rituals. The only patient seen, whom the mob claims gave clear account of how he was kidnapped, could not affirm the story. A landlord and community leader in the area also affirmed the suspicion of the church.
I'm living where the ministry house is behind in my house. But what we have experienced past 5 years ago, we experienced that these people, they will bring the people, they call them, they are mad people. They will started shaming them. And in the midnight, we will see the big vehicle, they will be coming in, going out.
I see one of those weary, she don't run. And what happened? She can't call everybody, say, I'm not mad, you are not mad, you. People now kidnap me, go that place. You.
Both the pastor and his wife were absent at their residence, which was under surveillance by men of the Nigeria Police Force when CoreTV News visited. The security guard of the house, who was skeptical about speaking to our crew, however claimed ignorance of the pastor's whereabouts.
He left here this morning. Yeah.
What time?
That was around 7
in the morning.
Yes.
Where was he going to?
I don't know.
What about his wife?
Yeah, he came in just now. I never tell when that one to come out.
The police too refused to comment on the issue as the area commander on site declined to speak. A visit to the State Police PRO Ngozi Braid for a comment on the development yielded no fruit as she was unavailable. Meanwhile, it is only police investigation that will reveal if the church is an extension of the House of Horror discovered last March in Ibadan. However, what is certain is the continuation of the church in the community has come to an abrupt end. Nifemi Oguntoye, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Oh, you want to say the wonders shall never end. Oh, this is CoreTV News at 7. We'll take a break. Stay with us.
CoreTV News now provide a platform for live coverage of political rallies and electioneering campaign from anywhere in Nigeria. Political news stories, political editorial reviews, political discussions, personality profile, People's Parliament from the National, State and Local Government Assembly. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733. 01453-3407.
Our 24-hour news station. You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
Welcome back. It's CoreTV News at 7. Pakistani health officials are rushing to vaccinate hundreds of thousands of children against polio amid fears that a civilian exodus from a tribal area where the virus is rampant could spread the disease around the country. Nearly 500,000 people have fled a military operation against Taliban strongholds in North Waziristan, a hotspot for the crippling disease in Pakistan. Children in the tribal district have not been vaccinated since Taliban and local warlords banned health teams from giving out drops in June 2012. Tens of thousands of families have fled to the town of Banu, close to North Waziristan, while hundreds more have moved farther, fled to Lakiwawat, Mawat, Karak and Dera Ismail Khan towns since the offensive began in mid-June. More than 50 cases of polio have been detected so far this year in militant-infested North Waziristan, out of 82 cases across the country and 103 worldwide. World Health Organization officials in Banu say the campaign would continue 1 day a week during the fasting month of Ramadan, which begins at the weekend. Pakistan is one of only 3 countries, along with Afghanistan and Nigeria, where polio remains endemic, and efforts to eradicate it have been badly hit by rumors about the vaccine. And that's our package for this hour. Thank you so much for watching. Join us at 9:45 for Primetime News. I am Gift Ogete. Enjoy the rest of our programs in the meantime. Good evening.